I welcome you all to the Desktop Central training program. In today's session, we will be specifically discussing on handling patch management in the digital workspace. My name is Uttam, and I take care of the endpoint management products, including Desktop Central. I have been a product specialist with Manage Engine for over 6 years, and I'm a seasoned technical support engineer, existing, uh, assisting the customers with their implementation, consultation, and troubleshooting in case of any challenges. So in today's webinar, we will be focusing on endpoint management solutions which has different product portfolios, both under management and security. We have tools like Vulnerability Manager Plus, Patch Manager Plus, Browser Security Plus, Device Control Plus, OS Deployer, and Mobile Device Manager. These products take care of their own native requirement as a standalone tool. But Desktop Central is a complete unified endpoint management tool that has all these features under a single roof. I would say Desktop Central is a suite of all these products supported under one centralized console. Apart from this, if you have a major requirement for managing only third-party applications, I would recommend Patch Connect Plus. Patch Connect Plus is a simple component that can be installed in SCCM to deploy third-party updates. As you can see, we offer wide variety of products to handle all your endpoint management and security concerns. To know more about our products offered from Manage Engine, you shall visit our website mentioned on this slide. Let us take a look on the overview of our training. We are on week 1 of Series 6, which is patch management. This is one of the modules of our endpoint management and security suite. All these training sessions will be recorded and made available in the below mentioned website. All the registered participants will be receiving an email with the recorded training video. You can also attend our free training series and claim our certificate on completing the series of courses. Patch management for distributed workforce. Before we start the training, I would like to take you through the agenda for the day. We will have an overview of what patch management and its features are, followed by its architecture in understanding how Desktop Central works. We will be discussing about the effective ways in which you shall manage your endpoints that are distributed in various geographical locations. We will be discussing about the strategic planning in managing these endpoints and network access control. Concluding the session with the most frequently asked questions with their answers. During the training, if you come across any questions, feel free to use the chat option to chat with our expert panel team. We will also collect all the questions raised during the training period, and we will be publishing it for the larger audience. Across the globe, we have started embracing the new normal. And for an IT administrator, the new normal now means a distributed workforce. So managing and securing the devices across the distributed workforce can come up with quite a lot of challenges. Let us consider a live example to understand the distributed workforce scenario better. We will also be suggesting multiple methods to manage and patch the endpoints remotely. John is one of our loyal customers who is managing a chain of hotels in multiple locations and managing 10,000 computers in his network, which are spread across the globe. As we can see from the picture, each remote office comes with its own requirements, like in terms of number of endpoints managed, bandwidth, and the mode of connectivity. So the IT team now has to figure out the ways to test the newly released patches, deploy them periodically, and also monitor all the endpoints. So let's take a look at how John can handle both the situations with the features available in Desktop Central. So there are two types of users John will have to cater to. First, the users who are connected to Desktop Central server via VPN, and the users who are connected over the internet. Apart from the roaming users, John should also revise a strategy to get the back to office machines up and running. And IT admins need to check the compliance status of those machines that are getting back to the office. We will be discussing more about this in the upcoming slides. Our organization has completely adopted remote and distributed work culture. This can be challenging for the IT admins who now have to consider various factors before initiating a patch task for the distributed workforce. Some of these factors are bandwidth constraint, keeping the end users informed about the patch task, time constraint while applying these updates, reboot schedule, and troubleshooting. We will be looking on how we can include these factors in managing and securing the distributed workforce. But before that, let us get a brief understanding on what Desktop Central is. Desktop Central is a unified endpoint management solution that ensures all your endpoints are secure and enables the user to use them effectively for business. A popular research analyst called Forrester defines UEM as follows: products that provide a centralized policy engine for managing and securing employee laptops and mobile devices from a single console. In unified endpoint management, you can manage endpoints in a traditional IT management fashion. This includes patch management, application management, configurations deployment, OS deployment, tools for troubleshooting, and to automate the day-to-day routine management activities. Similarly, endpoints can also be managed with modern management. It supports features like geo-tracking, geo-fencing for your laptops, distributing the store applications, profile distributions to enforce restrictions, operating system reset, and recovery. Hence, with Desktop Central UVM edition, you will get a complete integration of client management capabilities combined with mobile device management and modern management for Windows and Mac. You can handle all your endpoints right from device provisioning towards vulnerability assessment, ensuring their security, and also support analytical data with comprehensive reports. Customers who have recognized Desktop Central as a wholesome UVM solution, and it has been awarded accolades with the same under various forums. So with Desktop Central Unified Endpoint Management tool, you will be able to manage desktops, laptops, mobile phones and tablets, servers, point of sale devices, and browsers all from a single console. We currently support 3 operating system flavors: Windows, Mac, and Linux. And here is the complete list of operating systems supported by Desktop Central. The application server can be installed on a Windows platform, and you can manage all your endpoints which have Windows, Mac, and Linux operating systems. In case if you have any questions, you can reach out to the support by referring the email address mentioned below. As Desktop Central users are aware, patch management comes as a feature in Desktop Central. If you require patch management as a separate product, we have a standalone tool called Patch Manager Plus, available in both on-premise and cloud solution. Now we are stepping into the actual core of patch management overview. And this supports 1000 plus applications in Desktop Central that includes Windows, Mac, and Linux. And we also support 500 plus third-party applications. Based on the use cases, a lot of customers had questions on what type of updates are supported by Desktop Central Patch Management. We currently support security-only updates, monthly roll-ups, cumulative updates, feature pack updates, optional updates, definition updates, and the automatic handling of service track updates. We also support the extended security updates for end-of-life operating systems, such as Windows 7, Windows Server 2008, and 2008 R2, provided if they have extended support license enabled. As you all know, the latest feature pack, Windows 10 21H2 version, is also supported in the Desktop Central. You can also upgrade your Windows 10 machines to the latest Windows 11 with the patch management supported in the Desktop Central. Once a feature pack is released, service or support will be available for 18 to 30 months. So with Desktop Central Unified Endpoint Management, you will be able to automate all these feature pack deployments. We will be seeing more information about feature pack deployment as well as how to automate the process as we proceed further. And here is the full approach recommended by Microsoft for patch management. As we all know, second Tuesday of every month is considered to be the Patch Tuesday for Microsoft. During this time, Microsoft releases a lot of security and non-security updates. Most of our customers only consider the security updates and tend to ignore the non-security updates. As you can see from the image, this is how Microsoft test and deploy patches in their own test environment. We would always recommend you to give high priority for the critical security updates, but at least by the third or fourth week of the month, we recommend you to deploy all the other required patches in order to achieve the fully patched recommended state of Microsoft. This will ensure your environment is kept healthy. Let us also have an overview of patch management architecture. So whenever a patch is released, it is made available in the vendor sites. Our crawler team continuously probes the internet to draw the vulnerability information from the vendor sites. And once the download is completed, the patches will be tested in our local environment, mainly to check the successful installation, compatibility, and the applicability checks are also being done. Post which, the updates will be published to the central patch repository. Now the Desktop Central server running in your environment subscribes to our central patch repository to download the latest vulnerability database periodically. Once the process is completed, your client machines will be scanned in order to identify the missing patches. After identifying the missing patches, Desktop Central server will directly download the required updates from the respective vendor sites. And the managed systems, based on from where they are connected, they are now allowed to download the patches from the Desktop Central server or directly from the internet. However, as an admin, you will have control to define the deployment date and time. Now let us take a look at how the endpoints can be managed in a distributed workforce. Patching roaming users. There are two ways in which these type of users can be managed. One is through a secure gateway server. The domain users can connect to the secure gateway server. Thereby, you don't have to expose the Desktop Central server out on the internet. So all the communications between the agent and the Desktop Central server will happen through the secure gateway server only. I'm going to take you to the web console of Desktop Central and show you how this configuration can be done. On the Desktop Central interface, navigate to Admin, NAT Settings. Here, you will be able to configure the public FQDN. And once that is done, you can go back to Admin, Secure Gateway Server. Now you can install the Secure Gateway Server component. So you will be allocating a dedicated machine. And once the Secure Gateway Server is installed, the roaming machines will now be communicating with the public FQDN that you have configured. And this will ensure the roaming machines are posting every information to the Desktop Central server. So this will allow the Desktop Central to cater the needs of roaming users through the Secure Gateway component. Back to the presentation. The next category, work from home users who need a direct download to be implemented. Desktop Central offers a feature called direct download. This is to conserve bandwidth for the above mentioned VPN users. The agents can now download directly the patches from the internet without depending on the Desktop Central server. Let me show you how this can be performed. But before that, there are a couple of prerequisites to enable the direct download. First, you need to ensure you are running on the latest version of Desktop Central. And then you need to apply a simple configuration to allow the VPN connected work from home endpoints to download the required patches directly. On the web console, you can navigate to threads and patches, deployment, disable automatic updates. We have a default configuration called enable agent to directly download the patches. And you can create this configuration and deploy it to the entire domain or the specific group of machines of your choice. So this will be created as a configuration and you can deploy it immediately to all your endpoints. So once the direct download is enabled, the agents will start to download the patches directly from the internet. Now, let's talk about the back to office machines. There are few factors that an administrator should look for when the machines are back to office. Quarantining the non-compliant machines, updating the unpatched applications, deploying the feature packs, and deploying updates based on users' availability. So let us discuss on the situations one by one. Previously, we have seen how to manage the endpoints during the work from home scenario. And now we shall create a patch routine for the back to office machines. The first objective will be enabling network access control for the non-compliant machines and identifying the critical applications to patch them in priority. Post which, we will be creating a system restore point for all the work from home machines. The reason behind that is in case of any experiencing any challenges through patch management task, you are safe to restore the backup, and that's the primary objective of creating a system restore point. The next objective is to keep the end users informed about the patching schedule. And then we will be testing the newly released patches on a pilot group before deploying them to bulk computers. And based on the testing results, we will be approving the patches and deploy them to highly vulnerable systems to generate a report based on the activities. So let's take a look at them one by one. Here is the workflow of network access control. Network access control is used to tighten the network security by restricting the endpoints that do not satisfy the compliant requirements of an organization. This will enable the system administrator to allow or restrict the access to organization's network for all the endpoints that fail to confirm the compliance settings. As we take a look at the workflow, the administrator will create a policy that defines the compliance status. If a machine is found to be non-compliant, the network resources of those systems will get restricted automatically. And by default, the compliance status of all the systems are checked automatically during every refresh cycle. We will be discussing about what refresh cycle is in the upcoming training sessions. That is, whenever the machine is reconnected to the network, the compliance is automatically rechecked. Now let me show you how this can be done. We have also published an article that has a zip file to download and configure this network access control module. I have already downloaded it, and this is how the policy generator looks like. Here, you will be able to allocate or search for a specific keyword based on the software or service. You can also set the domain or IP address range that should be allowed when the machines are in quarantine period. For example, if a software exists or not, or if a service exists or not, you can restrict the endpoints from accessing the entire network, or you can block them from accessing a specific intranet range. So we are defining a custom check before the machine enters our network. And you will be creating this policy, and this policy will be deployed to all the client machines as a configuration. And here is a screenshot on how the deployment zip looks like. If you see, there is a test on a software if it exists or not, and a service if it exists or not. So if both the software and service exists, we are going to block all the network access for that machine. And this will be created as a policy, and we will be deploying it as a configuration. Next, The system restore point, which is mainly useful for the back to office machines. As mentioned earlier, in case of any issues that you face during the patch deployment task, you will be safe to use this restore point available in Desktop Central. Now let me show you how to create a system restore point for the back to office machines. On the console, this is available under configurations, script repository, templates. You can do a quick search for restore and select the script and add it to the repository. I have already added it before. Now you can deploy this script as a computer configuration to the required machines of your choice, or you can deploy it only for the back to office machines. So once this is deployed, the system restore point will be generated on the target endpoints. Next, we will be looking at identifying the critical applications to patch, followed by testing them in pilot environment before deploying to the rest of the machines. Now let's take a look at the web console on how to achieve this scenario. Under threads and patches, you can see the total count of patches that are required to your entire network. You can filter it based on the criticality. Example, if you're looking for the critical updates based on the severity, you can create a filter like severity equals critical and apply it. Now you can see what are all the critical patches currently required for your environment. And you can further add additional criteria. Example, if you're only looking to find out the security updates missing in your network, you can very well add the additional criteria. Now we are going to test these critical patches, which is available under deployment, test and approve. As you know, we are getting hundreds of patches every month from Microsoft and other vendors. So the main purpose of creating this test and approve is we are going to observe the results on the test machines and we will be further approving them if they're not causing any type of issues. So first, you need to create a test group. We have an option called custom group available through which you can create groups of computers. You need to give this custom group a proper name and select the machines of your choice where you want the latest patches to be installed. So this will be the pilot group of machines where the testing is going to happen first within your environment. And now you are going to map the test group, what you have created, and then you can select what type of patches should be tested on the pilot machines. In case if you follow any compliance to only test the security and the non-security, you can customize what has to be tested on these machines. You can also verify or test the third-party updates, the antivirus definition updates, and the driver updates along with the Microsoft updates. And next is the deployment policy. Now, the deployment policy will allow you to fix a schedule and customize the reboot. We will be discussing more about it in the upcoming slides. But remember, every configuration that you create is associated with a deployment policy. So you will have to associate a deployment policy to the test machines. Once it is added, you can now allow the patches to get automatically approved after 1 or couple of days of time. The reason being, we are going to observe this behavior for a couple of days. And if you happen to see any issues with your test machines, you can easily decline the patches from the patches module under the decline patch section. This decline can be performed on a specific group of computers or on all the computers what you're managing. So whatever update which is causing issue on the pilot machines, you can decline it based on the patch ID or the KB number or the bulletin ID, or you can also prevent an application from being updated. For example, if Java running in your endpoints, if the version should not be updated at all, you can even exclude the application from being patched. So once a patch or an application is declined, Desktop Central will make sure it is not deployed through any type of configurations from the product. And that is the main objective of the test and approve, to identify what updates are causing issues on your test machines and to protect the rest of your production environment from getting installed with the same patches. Now let's see what the next scenario is. Feature pack deployment. Now Desktop Central does support feature pack installations. You can directly upgrade the older versions of your Windows 10 machines to the latest Windows 10 21H2 version. You can also upgrade your Windows 10 devices to the latest Windows 11 version. We have made a dedicated article including the steps for the upgrade of Windows 10 to the Windows 11. We recommend you to contact the support team for the instructions, or you can immediately post your query in the chat for the expert team to assist you now. Deployment based on users availability. The benefit of enabling this report is to understand the pattern of users activity in a day to plan your daily patching activity. Let me show you how this report can be exported from Desktop Central. You can navigate to the reports module, power management reports, and here you will be able to find the system uptime report. In this custom reporting, we have supported key details like the domain name and the remote office details associated with the active user. So with this report, based on the uptime of the machines, we are recommending you to plan your patch deployment activities. Back to the presentation. Now we are going to create a set of policies for the work from home endpoints to allow the users to skip the deployment and also create user scheduled reboot policies. Now let me show you how to create a deployment policy based on the situation. As mentioned earlier, every configuration that you create should be associated with a deployment policy, and in Desktop Central, you can create n number of deployment policies based on your need. You can navigate to threads and patches, deployment, deployment policies. Here, you will be able to schedule the window of patching. For example, if you're planning to test the latest updates in the second week of every month, you can select the weeks and the days and the starting and the ending time. For example, from 9 o'clock to 12 p.m. in the afternoon. So during this deployment window, the agent is going to download the updates and perform the installation on the respective target machines. And you can also customize when the agent should download the updates from the Desktop Central server. You can also have the endpoints pre-download the patches and store them on the local machines by using this functionality highlighted. And once the deployment window begins, the agent is going to process the updates without any further delay. You can customize the pre-deployment settings. You can wake up the machines if they are present on LAN, and you can perform a pre-reboot of the machines, and this can be scheduled. And you can also have a custom script executed before the patch deployment actually begins. You can perform functionalities like creating a system restore point on the machine, taking a snapshot of the VM, or you can stop a service by using this custom script functionality. This feature is introduced recently in our product and available in the latest version. You can also send out a notification to the end users, informing them about the patch deployment task, which is going to happen. You can also allow them to skip the deployment in case if they are working on some important task. Post the patching, you can also perform a reboot or shutdown of the device. You can perform a force reboot of the machines within the same deployment window configured, or you can have the reboot performed in a separate window, which is independent of the patching schedule. You can also give the end user an option to delay or postpone the reboot. You can enable the user defined time, and the end user can decide when the reboot should happen on the respective machines. And following the reboot, you can also have a post deployment script executed on the endpoint machines, like to restart the same service again. So these are the deployment policy parameters. And once this is created, you will be able to allocate it to the respective group of computers. Back to the presentation. And this is how the screenshot looks like when the end user receives a skip reboot notification. From the drop-down menu, they can choose to skip it for 6 hours or 8 hours, and they can also select a time when the reboot should occur. And we'll also be alerting them with the time when the machine is going to be rebooted. And this is when the end user wants to skip the reboot. So you can define an exact time when this has to be done. Policy for servers. As we discussed earlier, you can set up a time frame when the deployment should go through, and you can wake them up and deploy the patches if the machines are on the LAN. And here is a screenshot of the force reboot pop-up that appears on the screen. We will be providing the end user a default timeout of 5 minutes before the force reboot happens, so that the end user can save all the work and the files which are open. In case if you want to extend the timeout, that is also possible through the deployment policy. Now let's talk about the automation of patch deployment. So I hope you remember John has thoroughly tested the patches and approved them. Now, how can the approved patches be deployed to the rest of the production devices? You need to configure an automatic patch deployment task, which is a simple 4-step process. The benefit of creating an automated patch deployment task is once you create this configuration, whatever updates that are released by the vendor after thorough validation, they will be automatically deployed to the rest of your production machines. So this will eliminate your manual involvement in the monthly patching activities. And creating an automated task requires configuration of simple 4 steps. First step involves selecting what type of updates should be automatically installed. You can select them based on their update type and the severity. And third-party patches, antivirus definition updates, driver updates can also be deployed automatically. And step 2 is selecting the deployment policy. We have seen how important the deployment policy is, where you can configure the window of patching and actions like shutdown reboot. So based on your need, you need to configure a policy and you can have it mapped with this configuration. So this policy will make sure the patching is happening in an automatic manner every month. And then defining the target. So you can select the target machines based on the remote offices or based on the Active Directory domain. And you can further drill down and select the specific group of machines like the custom group or the based on IP range or operating systems, or you can also target the OU present within your Active Directory. So all these parameters mentioned here can be used for defining the target for this specific automated task. And finally, the notifications. So whenever there is any failure in patch installation or whenever there is any change in the status of the task, administrator can get notified over the email with proper reports attached based on the time frequency configured. So by configuring these 4 simple steps, the monthly patching activity can be completely automated within the product, and this will benefit the administrator to reduce their manual involvement. Going back to the presentation. So patch management at a glance. So this is completely independent of WSS. It is a cross-platform patch management application as it supports Windows, Mac, Linux, and third-party applications. And you can leverage functionalities like test and approve and automate patch deployment with flexible deployment policies. Let us take a look at the Desktop Central architecture, mainly for the benefit of the attendees who are not familiar with the product. So Desktop Central is an on-premise solution and supports client-server application model. This architecture mainly talks about how you can manage the devices in the LAN and wide area network. The workflow of the Desktop Central will be discussed with more detailed information in the upcoming sessions. Desktop Central is currently available as a native cloud solution, and you shall sign up for the below URL to start accessing Desktop Central Cloud Edition. We have collated some of the frequently asked questions, and we are going to discuss on them. If I have an automated update task schedule, and if the pre-download of patches is enabled, when exactly the patch installation is going to happen. So the concept is, if we have enabled the agent to pre-download the patches, the agent is going to download all the required updates and store them locally on the client machines. And once the deployment window starts, all the machines will start to focus on deployment. Thereby, we are reducing the time taken for the download. This is the main reason to enable this feature, is to initiate the deployment during the scheduled deployment window time. Local machines are currently out of office, and how do I make the desktop central server contact with them? As we discussed earlier, if a machine is not on VPN, we need a secure gateway server to establish the communication. And if the endpoints are connected via VPN, the agent will communicate with the desktop central server directly without any need of secure gateway. Is it necessary for me to disable the Windows Update service if I proceed with the desktop central patch management? Yes, we recommend you to disable the automatic updates on Windows as well as other third-party applications so that you can handle all the patching activity from a centralized console. With Desktop Central, we will capture the details of the required updates and also the data and the time when it has been installed. So this will help you to get an audit report from the centralized console. Is there a way for Desktop Central to download all the required patches and perform reboot only once? Yes, the agent will scan for the missing patches, deploy them based on a schedule, and then it will check for a reboot on every update. So only after all the patches are installed on the schedule, it executes a reboot as per your policy defined. Next question. When I exclude or decline a patch, is it removed from the patch management page? Yes, when you decline a patch, it is no longer calculated as missing update for that specific computer. Let me also show you how to decline a patch. So we have selective exclusions and we have permanent exclusions. Selective exclusion is when you want to decline a patch from a particular configuration or a task. You can proceed with this method. This is available under the automatic patch deployment task, where once you select the update type, you can specify what applications should be exempted from being patched or what applications alone should be updated. And permanent exclusion, as discussed earlier, you can go to the patches, decline patch, and you can prevent an update or an application from being updated via Desktop Central by declining the patch from all your computers. So these are the two methods that is used for declining an update. Let's see what the next question is. Our business applications misbehave occasionally, and I believe it is caused due to the recent patching activities. So how can I roll back a patch in that scenario? In general, Desktop Central supports the rollback of the Microsoft updates. And in fact, we have also updated the uninstallation status under the patches, install patches view. You have a dedicated column where you can verify if the patch is supported for rollback. If it is, you can select the updates and you can uninstall them from the endpoint systems. Let's see what the next question is. When deploying the patches, I come across below errors. So how do I get them fixed? The reported errors could be caused due to multiple reasons. As you can see, it is mainly the Office updates. So we have a detailed troubleshooting article added to the product console. And generally, we will be adding the KB article beside the error code. So whenever it occurs, you can follow the troubleshooting steps mentioned within it. In case, even after following the troubleshooting steps, if the error remains, you can contact the technical support team for further assistance. Is it possible to disable the end user notifications whenever the patches are being deployed? Yes, this is something which you can customize when you're creating a patch deployment task. You can decide whether the end user should be allowed to skip the deployment or not. Next, how soon are the patches available once they're released by Microsoft? As soon as the patches are released, our engineering team will start testing the patches in our local environment to add all the checksums and the detection logic. And then we will be releasing them in our database. So you can expect the security updates within 12 hours and the rest of the updates within a maximum of 24 hours. How are failed patches handled in test and approve? So whenever you face any failure while testing the updates, the main reason why you're testing the patches is to see if it is causing any issues or failures on your test machines. So ultimately, if a patch has failed in the test machine, it is important we focus on resolving it based on the troubleshooting article that we provide, because the same might happen even on your production machines as well. If you're able to find the root cause on the test machines and sort them, we can stop such cases from happening to your production environment. How can I see what are the patches released in the past use day cycle and see all the missing systems? So I hope you remember the filters options what we have used earlier. You can go to the missing patches and create a filter and use the release date as one of the options available to specifically view what patches are released in this current week or in this specific month. And you can also use the latest patches option available, where you can where all the data about what are the recent updates released from Microsoft will be displayed. Next, some patches have the description of reboot may require. Why is this? So let us say you are installing a security update and which requires the DLL to be loaded on one or more process. So this security cannot be completed while the DLL is loaded on the client machines. Only after restarting the machine during the system startup, these patches will be applied. So in such scenarios, the status of the patch will be marked as may require. We are in the question and answer session, and we have also planned for a live question and answer session. And if you have any questions with what we have seen so far, you can raise it on the chat support and we will be able to discuss them now. Okay, I see there are very less questions raised in this session, which have been answered by the technical team. So you can, if you have any more questions, you can keep it coming. The webinar will be active and my technical team will be assisting you with the proper answers. And I again apologize for the initial technical issues that we faced with the audio. And we also request the participants to rate this webinar on a scale from 1 to 5, where 5 is the best. If you would like to spread a word about this webinar, please do use the below platform. We also have the next training sessions coming on. It's about unified endpoint security, which will happen on the 2nd of February. In case if you need any personalized Desktop Central demonstrations, please do reach out to the chat support where we will be able to organize it. And thank you everyone for joining the session on your busy schedule. You guys all have a great day. Thank you.